Hi, I'm Asif Khan, CEO of Shacknews, and this represents a new endeavor on the part of our company. Direct video feeds created specifically for Shackers. If you're not a Shacker already, what's wrong with you? On this first ever Shacknews Direct, we are proud to announce a revolutionary new way for Shackers to express themselves on Shacknews.com. This is a day I've been looking forward to for many years. At a time where many websites are hiding their comments sections and user-generated reviews are being panned by critics, Shacknews is running toward user-generated content. Many Shackers are already content creators. Our community features musicians, artists, and obviously folks who stream on their own Twitch channels. In 2020, anyone can be a content creator, and what we are launching today is designed to help signal boost everyone in a new and fun way. Before we show off what we've been working on, I would like to look back at the history of the Shacknews comments. Things that are great about Chatty are, one, the history. This is a 24-year-old website. The comment system has been through several iterations. I think it was just called the comment section. Then it was called Funky. Then came Jazz. Then came Larynx. And most recently came Chatty. Another thing that I absolutely love about the Shacknews commenting system throughout time is that they're threaded comments. And the third thing that I think really makes us very unique is our lol tagging, the lol page, this gamification that has existed from users, admittedly at first, and then integrated into the site as most recently as last year. Another thing about the Chatty that I think is just absolutely amazing is the expiration of threads. After 18 hours, the threads disappear from /Chatty. You can still find them through search. But not all is great with Shacknews Chatty. Over time, it's become abundantly clear that no one really shares the OP in Chatty that often. It's usually the content within it. So in the case of our weekly or daily Trump dump thread, there might be a link to the New York Times. If you're going to share the information in that Trump dump OP, you're not going to share the Shacknews Chatty thread. You're more likely to share the link that's inside of that thread. I think this has become a bigger problem outside of Shacknews Chatty than within it. Obviously, people share threads to remind each other, hey, this was already posted here, or whatever. I'm talking about people going out and sharing a Shacknews Chatty thread like you would something on Reset Era or Reddit. Another problem that's been an issue with Chatty since I got here as CEO in 2014 is that page views are down over 80% since the highs. This is obviously due to several factors. The site is not smaller. We still have millions of people coming to the site every month. But Shacknews Chatty as a portion of the site has shrunk, admittedly, to a core group of very dedicated users. One of our goals here today is to increase page views from user-generated content. And I look at that. I looked very closely at that problem when we designed what we're about to show you. Third issue I do see with Shacknews Chatty is that there are barriers to entry. It's not the most approachable platform if you look at it from the eyes of a new user or a younger person. That's the good, that's the bad. So what the hell why are we here? Why did I bring you here? Today, I am really proud to announce Shacknews Cortex, a new way for Shackers to create and share content. There are three really big things about Shacknews Cortex that I figured I'd highlight before we get into a demo. Shackers can now post articles and reviews. I made a front page for Shackers by Shackers. If you don't want to read the front page of Shacknews.com, by all means, I think you should probably try your hand at writing some articles. So we have built a content management system into the site for our users, and it is awesome. The second really big thing about Cortex is that the feed is chronological. The timeline on our feed will be chronological. So many social media platforms are shoving in like-based algorithms or interest-based algorithms or this and that. I just want to, for one time, to see a feed that's actually chronological. So Shacknews Cortex is a chronological timeline. That's another big thing about it. And then the third big thing, Shackers can follow and block topics and people in Cortex. So if there's a Shacker that, let's say, you don't like, you can block them. And let's say, like, you love Doom, but you don't like that Shacker. You can follow the topic Doom, you can block the Shacker that you don't like, and you'll only see Doom articles that will exclude the person that you want to ignore. That goes the same for topics, right? So if you don't like satire, but you love Doom, and there's a satirical Doom article, you can block the topic satire, and you'll only see Doom articles that are super serious. These are the three major new features that are in Cortex. But instead of talking about it, how about I show everybody a demo? Let's have a demo. Hey there, Lola. This is Shacknews Cortex running on our dev environment right now because at the time of I recorded this, we had not made this live. So here we go. I'm gonna click on this brand new handy dandy Cortex button, and there it is. This is Shacknews Cortex. Shacknews is officially a game. We have gamified it. I can get into how that works here. So you have several different options. I'm obviously a moderator at Shacknews, so I probably will have more things displayed here than you will. Like I said, Shackers can create articles. So how about we do that? You can do that by clicking this create button right here. And let's see, I want to share a Lola picture. Lola picture for you will be my headline, description. Would you like to see a Lola picture? And here we go. So this right here is the insert image button. So with this, I'll be able to browse my downloads for a picture and upload. And just like that, there's a Lola picture. Let's say I wanted to add some body to this, or something to the body of this. I can just hit enter and be like, isn't she the cutest? This is the body image, but for the purposes of the blog roll, you can also upload an image. It's actually required to post to Cortex. And we have this handy dandy tool where you can zoom in. So let's say I want to crop just specifically that part of the Lola picture for the header. And just like that, it's there. Shacknews Cortex is going to be a topic-based navigation system, so it's going to be hugely important for people to tag things properly. Luckily, I already have a Lola the Palm tag in the Shacknews CMS, so there we go. But if like you wanted to, you could be like Lola the Carpathian, right? I could suggest Lola the Carpathian, and that'll appear here. I can say, I want this, and suggest topic. So there we go, and we're back. Obviously, I'm not going to include Lola the Carpathian here, so we don't need that, but it's a cool little thing, because we're not going to let users create topics, because there could be typos and all sorts of things. We are going to curate the topics field. But, you know, I can picture, you know, you can search for all different sorts of things. Screenshots, right? And then you may notice that there's a comments field here. Each one of these fields has a little info box if you're curious what's going on. And then also there is a mouse over for this body. So you can add bullet points, you can add hyperlinks, you can change the text formatting, and you can also change the HTML code. So you can enable or disable Shacknews Chatty threads. I'm going to enable it because I love the Shacknews Chatty. Down here where it says comments OP, you're able to compose what the Shacknews Chatty thread for this Cortex article will look like. So I'm gonna just say Lola is the best dog, and I have indisputable evidence. Please take a look. Now, if I don't want to publish this just yet, you can hit preview and it'll show you what this is going to look like when it goes live. So Lola picture for you. Would you like to see a Lola picture? Maybe with the briefcase. Isn't she the cutest? If I'm ready to publish, I can do that. If not, I can go back to the editor. When you hit preview, you actually save a draft of right here. That's something that moderators will be able to pay attention to. So if someone posts something and then changes it to not be illicit, we can go back. We have the receipts. But I think this is perfect. I'm going to publish. And there you have it. There's a little picture for you. As you can see, I got 5 points for creating this article. And there's the Chatty thread. If you want to see the Chatty thread, not at the bottom of the article, but in the Chatty itself, you can click go to thread, like our front page, and there it is. Lola is the best dog, and I have indisputable evidence. Please take a look. Can't tag myself, but I can reply to my own thread and say, yup. And there you go. So let's go back to Cortex. As you can see, that Lola picture is now at the top of all posts. All posts does not have filters. My feed will show filters. Granted, this is a dev environment, so you're not going to see a whole lot of posters right now, and you're going to see stuff like Patrick's test post here. This might be a good time to bring up the concept of the Carnage report. So as I mentioned, Shacknews is a game, and each day at midnight, we're going to declare a winner. Each week at midnight on Sunday, we're going to declare a winner. And each end of month, we're going to declare a winner. So last week, Donovan won the Carnage report. So he won Shacknews for the week. And you too could win Shacknews if you post awesome memes or whatever the hell he posted. It's going to break it down here, show you. It was really close between Donovan and Greg. Donovan had article points. Greg had more had similar amounts of LOL points. Both of them were reading Shacknews articles. There's a whole lot of different ways to get points on the platform. Don't want to completely reveal our secret sauce, but this will be generated every day. You'll have a chance to win Shacknews every day by creating content. So congratulations to Donovan, even though he's a jerk. So obviously, if you just want to see your own posts, you can click my posts and that'll show you everything. If you like Lola the Palm, you can go to her topic and see. If you're not following her, you can follow topic right there. If you dislike my dog for some reason, you can block her and you'll never see anything tagged Lola the Palm. But I wouldn't block Lola the Palm, the user, as she is our MySpace Tom. She is going to be posting the Carnage report every day. Speaking of MySpace, this might be a good time to show everyone something else that we've been working on called profile pages. Yeah, I know. What an amazing idea. Shacknews had profile pages, and then it didn't, and now it does again. Profile page is going to show you how many points you have in Cortex, your total comments, how many posts you have in Cortex, how many Cortex wins you have, and your date registered. There's also an About the Author page, so you can add hyperlinks to your Twitch channel. I put my Twitter handle here and also shacknews.com. If you don't want to participate in Shacknews Cortex, you don't have to. And you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to hide your profile right here. So that's kind of like blocking yourself from the platform. So no one will be able to look at anything that you're doing on here. And you won't get points or whatever. If you want to opt out, you can. Down here, you may notice something else that I kind of borrowed from MySpace. This is the concept of the top 10. And really, it's just 2 different top 5s. On the left are my top 5 topics that I'm interested in. And on the right are my top 5 shackers that I'm interested in. I feel like people are going to be curating this. They may update it from time to time, but it's also a quick way to find your 5 favorite things or your 5 favorite people on the platform. This was going to be a landing page for users, but also people looking at what you're up to. So this is the Shacknews profile page. It also contains your feed down here. So if you want to see, articles that I've written before, you can find that all right here. Let's go back to the create function, because I did show you a general article, but let's do a review. I love F0X. It's the best game. It is written. Deal with it. So as you can see, I selected the review box here, and it creates something called a review topic. This is just one entry that you have to make, and that will determine the thing that you're reviewing. You can add pros and cons, best game, awesome soundtrack, not on Switch. And I'm going to give F0X a 10 out of 10, and you can argue about if I'm wrong or not in the chat. I'm going to add a couple of tags to this. We got Nintendo, maybe Nintendo 64. Nice thing about our tag system is that it taps into our Shacknews CMS that's been around for 24 years. So if we've written about it already, there's going to be a topic for it. I'm going to have to upload an image to be part of this review process. And we're going to do that. All right. Upload. There you go. Gave it a 10 out of 10. F0 owns so hard. It will be the Chatty OP for this, as I have it enabled. And let's just publish. I'm feeling dangerous. Boom. F0 is the best game. It is written. Deal with it. So as you can see, there is a Cortex score next to my score. The Cortex score is the average of every review that has been posted to Shacknews Cortex. We're going to have consensus scores based on all of our user reviews combined. So in the case of F0X, as you can see, Skankcore, our good buddy who's been in the closed alpha with us, he reviewed the game and actually wrote a decent review and gave it a 9 out of 10. But in my infinite wisdom, I disagree with Skankcore and gave it a 10. So now our Cortex score is a 9.5. So that's reviews, and that is the create feature. One other thing in the create feature that I did not show yet, my F0 review is kind of sparse, right? Wouldn't it be cool if you could edit your own OPs? Well, now you can. In Shacknews Cortex, I can go back to editor. I can say, you know what? I want to put this EUROBEAT F0 video in my article. And just like that, there it is. So you can embed various things in articles. You can embed Giphy, Tenor, YouTube videos, Vimeo, Twitch streams can be embedded. We have to individually whitelist these as we're very cognizant of security concerns on the platform, but we have painstakingly gone through a list. If you think that there's something that I didn't whitelist that needs to be, just message me and we'll get it in there. There's a good look at the create function. I'd like to move on to the following function. We have topic-based following and user-based following. And once you're following a user, you can come in here and decide who your favorites are and move them up here. If I want to remove Plonkus, I can just do that right here. There's also trending topics from Shacknews that we can add on the fly. Like if I want to follow Among Us, I just click on that and there's Among Us. So Shacknews, maybe I should be following Cyberpunk too. Actually, I should be following PS5. Series X, not so much. But like, I don't know, let's say I wanted to follow the Cleveland Browns. I can just type in the Cleveland Browns, and now I'm following the Cleveland Browns. The thing about this is that there might not be any articles written about the Cleveland Browns just yet, but if there are, it'll show up in my feed. My feed is going to be the place you go to see only the things you're interested in. All posts is going to be the place that you go to see things that, you might just want to check out. It's going to be the discoverability portion of this, and then, like I mentioned before, it's going to be chronological order. There's not going to be, oh, this many people lolled it, so it appears at the top of that. No, we're not doing that. This isn't a popularity contest, but you are being graded. You'll notice that there are no follower counts. You're not going to know who's following you or who blocks you, because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't think it really adds any value. If that's something that folks want down the road, maybe we'll address it. But that was an actual design decision that we made to avoid that concept of clout. I think that the way this platform is designed, you're going to win based on the quality of your content. So if you write a great review, it might end up winning you Shacknews for the day. So there's a quick look at the create feature and the following feature. Shacknews Cortex is a bridge to the Shacknews Chatty, as I mentioned. You have the opportunity to create a Shacknews Chatty thread. They will exist on the front page article of Cortex. They also exist in their own threads on Chatty. So if you just click Chatty, you will see all the articles. If it's something that you don't want to see, we have added a comment option to filter out Shacknews Cortex from Chatty. If you want to see Cortex in Cortex but not on Chatty, just uncheck this box, save filters, and then head over there. And it'll look very different. I would never do such a thing. I was just doing that for the purposes of this demo. But if you hate fun or are just tired of seeing threads, you can always filter them out. I think that Shacknews Cortex is going to be the destination for people who care about this content, as it's going to be a richer experience and everything. But there are going to be Shacknews Chatty threads created if the author chooses. You also have the ability to post, like I mentioned, if you save something, like, I don't know, let's just do a really quick one. ASDF. Let's preview this. I must select an image. Hold on a second. Let's select that Lola picture again. Except I want it to be even cuter. I probably have to post a topic. Preview. Description is required. Damn you, error messages. ASDF. There you go. ASDF. Preview. So as you can see, there's a preview of it. I can back out, go to my drafts, and there is the work in progress article. So if you want to save an article, just hit preview and then leave. It'll appear in my drafts. I mentioned this before. You may have seen me request the Lola the Carpathian. This is a look at what the mods will be seeing. If someone requests something, I can easily message the person who requested it from here. In the case of Lola the Carpathian, I am not going to create that, so I'm just going to resolve that one. In the case of reported things, apparently Skankcore isn't even a real person. I actually know Skankcore, he is, so we're going to resolve that. If not, I could message the person it was reported by, or the author of the article that's being reported. If you want to report an article, there is a very easy way to do that right here. There's a flag button on every Shacknews Cortex article, and that will be visible to all the Shacknews mods. As you can see, I got 1 point for reading a Shacknews article. If you've ever listened to my Shackcast podcast, I have ranted about people reacting to headlines instead of clicking links and reading articles. This platform incentivizes you to click and read. So if you want to win Shacknews, click the link, read the article, then react. But yeah, that's about it right there. Like I mentioned, if there are edits being made to articles, like in the case of this F-Zero is the best game article, as a mod, I can go in here, go into the editor, and I can see every iteration that's been published. So if someone does something dubious, we can go back in there and see the original version of the article. Version history, I think, is going to be a huge factor in helping us moderate this platform. So yeah, that's a quick look at Shacknews Cortex. I hope you folks like it, and with that, I'm going to throw it back to the rest of the presentation. Thank you. We reached out to a very important Shacker to get their impressions of Shacknews Cortex. Please take a look.
Hey everyone, congrats on the launch of Cortex. I love seeing user-generated content come back to the Shack, along with things like the Carnage Report. Great stuff. Do it for Shacknews!
Thanks, Martin. It means the world to me to have the backing and support of the Shacknews founders on today's launch day of Cortex. I want to thank every Shacker who participated in the closed alpha and closed betas of Shacknews Cortex. This is really a huge undertaking that we've spent a lot of time on, and I appreciate your help. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to today's Shacknews Direct. On a personal note, I want to thank everyone who's reached out to me during my medical leave of absence from the Shacknews editorial team with your kind messages, either on Shacknews, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or I don't know, Friendster. I appreciate it. I don't know when I'm coming back to my editorial role, but obviously I am still here doing CEO things, special projects and the like. I want to thank managing editor at Shacknews, Bill Lavoie, and Shacknews Reviews editor, Blake Morse, for stepping up into the co-editor-in-chief role during my absence. They've done an amazing job holding down the site while I've been gone, and I really just wanted to single them out, and I appreciate the work they've been doing over these past few months. I also want to thank the entire Shacknews staff, as we've had to pivot all year long due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Today's launch of Cortex is another such pivot for Shacknews, as the website becomes a game. I also want to thank the Shacknews Mercury subscribers out there. You folks are supporting projects like this, like the development behind Cortex, today's Shacknews Direct, and all sorts of other things that we do on the site. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us create content like this, and I appreciate every single one of you for your support. This Friday, November 13th, Shacknews.com is going to publish an Xbox long read by David Craddock, and Shacknews Mercury subscribers will be able to download this very massive article in EPUB format for e-readers. I think that's about it for the presentation. We're really excited to see where Cortex goes from here as it goes out into the real world following this presentation. I do have one final shout out to the developers at Log Cabin, Patrick Lucas, Michael Shue, and who helped bring Cortex to life, physically, literally coded this, and also my partners in crime over at Greenlit Content, John Benjamin and Joe Stasio, for their help in this project. But there is one more thing. Shacknews Cortex is powered by our LOL tagging system and the LOL page, and it runs on the Shacknews commenting system. And in that spirit of humor and fun, we're happy to announce a brand new sister site to Shacknews that's going to live on the platform. We call it Shanty News, and it's going to be our satirical website that exists on the platform. It's going to be akin to the Hard Drive or the Onion. You can give us a follow on Twitter at @TheShantyNews, or just follow Shanty News on Cortex. So that's it. I think that's it. We're gonna call it a presentation today. I hope you enjoyed today's announcement and reveal of Shacknews Cortex. I hope you enjoyed this direct video presentation. And I hope you already have a Shacknews account and you're hitting F5 right now to see if the website is up and running. I cannot wait to see what you folks do with this. So please, go out there and do it for Shacknews.